Yo, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It's your boy Slushy Man coming back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be taking a deep dive into the DeadEye Changes. There's a lot of changes. There's a lot to talk about. There can be some tweaks that can be made. It's not perfect. Let's take a look and see how it is. The first thing that we're going to do is we are going to just take a quick look to see what they've exactly changed within her kit. If we open up the events tab and go over to the updates and then take a look at the patch notes, we're going to scroll down here and we're going to go to Deadeye. As you can see here, the first thing that it's going to talk about is our main skill that was our bread and butter, run and gun. This skill has been changed, so the knockback is on every 4 hit. That debuff now only applies in PvE. Added text to the skill commands regarding how to fix targets. Gunslinger's entrance. This was another bread and butter skill where they've changed it so there's no longer a knockback on attack 1 and there's no longer a KD on attack 2. In my opinion, I believe that they should have kept the KD on attack 2 and got rid of the knockback, but we will go a little bit further into that in a little bit when I actually showcase the actual kit. Mayhem. This is a really good skill. I like this as a change. It says right here that they've changed the sniffness on hits to a stun and for PvP as well. Not only does the stun apply on attack 1, but it also will apply on the last hit as well. So it will be a good skill to kind of, if you can't CC them from the front, go through them. Hopefully you CC them once you get through their frontal guard. Max Pain. This is a skill that I really have a problem with how they what they changed it into and how it works, and I will talk a little bit about that here in a minute. Right here it says added a stun on attacks 1 and 2 for both PvE and PvP. Improved a combo into Gunslinger's entrance after attack 1. Evasive maneuver. This skill is a really nice iframe, and I always said in the past, even before this change, that they need to make it so you're not locked into the super armor at the end. They've now made it so at the end of the skill, you can cancel the super armor and animation cancel it into either run and gun, sidewinder, gunslinger's entrance, or max pain. Last but not least, the good, the bad, and the ugly remove the critical hit rate reduction on Little Devil hit debuffs. So what's happened to the class and what do I think about it? Today I have joined with us the homie Neon Vix. We're going to be doing some duels, and I also want to showcase a lot of the new skills and what they do. So Neon, would you be a good test dummy and come over here and let me showcase some of these skills and how they work? The first skill that I'm going to talk about is going to be Max Pain, that is located right here where my cursor is. This skill, if we go to it right here, absolute max pain, we can see that it now has a stun on attacks 1 and 2, and it also is a super armor. So what we're going, or not a super armor, but iframe at the beginning, and then it is a super armor after the iframe. So the way that it works is if I were to just try to get away from someone, I would just use the skill, and it's going to be that quick little shot where it's the iframe at first, and then it goes into the super armor. And now it's a stun. So you can do it to the either side, left or right, or backward. So if I want to get the stun on Neon, I can go backwards with it, and I'm going to get that stun off. Now, that stun is pretty good, but here's my issue with it. Look what happens if I go to the right or to the left of Neon. A lot of times, this skill, Max Pain, is used as a skill to get out of something that is going to kill you. So whether that's like a Zerk running you down and about to grab you, because you have to think about our iframe is on a 3-second cooldown. So when our iframe's on cooldown, our only other iframe that we have available to us is Max Pain, which is available once every 5 seconds, or Evasive Maneuver, which is available once every 11 seconds. Now, what my issue with Max Pain is that it's supposed to be a stun, but if I go to the left or the right, you'll notice, if I go to the left or the right, you'll notice, all right, surely I'm not going to hit my shotgun button again for the 3rd time. If I go to the left or right, you'll notice that I dash out of the way, but it doesn't actually shoot him with the bullets. I can do the same thing going to the left. It doesn't hit him with the bullets. The only way that it will hit him with the bullets, if I go to the left or right, is if I whip my camera around really quickly, and then it'll get the stun. For every ordinary, everyday Joe that's going to work, has a family, whatever, they're not going to ever get to the level where they're going to be like, all right, this dude's about to come to me. I'm going to try to whip my camera as he's coming to me to try to get that stun. I think that needs to be changed, especially when we talk about how the bullets work. For those of you that don't know, there's regular ammo and Marnie rounds. Regular ammo is tracking and has tracking rounds, and is what I believe led to them being such an issue in the previous patch, where it was CCing people through their super armor. We have the AoE rounds, which are not tracking, and here's what I mean by tracking. You'll notice that if I use my normal rounds and I have my reticle right here, if I start my reticle on Neon and I continue to run and my reticle starts going onto the grass, you'll notice that my bullets will still keep hitting Neon as I'm running by him. So we're going to do that right now with running gun. All those bullets kept hitting Neon as I was running there, because regular rounds track. A lot of the skills that you do track with these rounds. If I go ahead and use the regular rounds, you'll notice if I run by Neon, all the bullets are going to continue going straight wherever my reticle is. So as I'm running, they hit Neon for a second and then they continue to go straight. That is why I believe that the knockback effect was so detrimental to the PvP landscape, is because since these rounds tracked, it didn't matter if the reticle wasn't on you or not. One of those rounds was going to get through some sort of gap. If it didn't, it was going to bug you out. So why do I have an issue with Max Payne? Well, let's talk about it. I could understand if I went to the left or right with Max Payne and it didn't hit Neon. So that one hit Neon. So let's try that again. We're going to go to the left or right. So we went to the right. That one didn't hit Neon with our AoE rounds. I'll get as close to him as I possibly can with our AoE rounds. I'm going to go to the left now. They don't hit him. Now I'm going to go to what should be our tracking rounds. I'm going to go to the left. They still don't hit him. The only way that I can hit him with Max Payne is going to be if I whip my camera with it, or if I go backwards with it, and that will stun him. That leads us into our next skill, which is Mayhem. This skill is really, really nice. It's always been a good skill as far as movement. It was something that we could chain into Gunslinger's entrance into, I believe it is called, it's Shift LMB, Absolute Doom and Gloom. So it's Absolute Doom and Gloom, Gunslinger's entrance, Mayhem, or it doesn't matter the way that you do all three of those skills. A lot of the times you chain them together for movement. Well, they've now made this Mayhem skill stun on the first and last hit. So if you notice, and I go up to Neon and I hit him with it, okay, nothing happened at all. So we're gonna try it again. So the first hit him right there, and it stunned him, and then Neon, go ahead again. Go ahead and block this time. So remember, it's only going to CC on the first and the last hit. So I'm going to, so that last hit right there, it hit him in the back, but it didn't, it was supposed to CC him, but it didn't. I'm going to try it again. The last hit, hopefully it hits him. I got a back attack, and this last hit is supposed to CC, and it's not hitting. So here's another thing with the class. I believe that this Mayhem skill is potentially bugged, because there are times where I go through Neon like that, and it does actually get the stun on him. Now I'm wondering, okay, so here's another thing. Here's what we're just figuring this out together, YouTube. It looks like I can consistently get the stun on him with it if I have the reticle pointed to him. So I have to make sure that whenever I use Mayhem and I go through him, that I turn my camera to hit him in the back. If I don't turn my camera to hit him in the back, it's not going to CC him. I don't think that is how the skill should be, especially with the tracking rounds. I think that if you have the tracking rounds and you go through them, no matter if you're looking at them or not, it should stun them, especially if you're hitting them. Same thing with Max Payne. If I'm using the skill and I go around him, I shouldn't have to whip my camera around for him to CC. Go ahead and block Neon. Even if I'm hitting him, even if I go from the front and I whip my camera like that and he's frontal guard, it will hit him in the back with Mayhem or with Max Payne. But the issue is the skill level that it's going to take people to get to consistently pull that off, or to whip their camera to hit the stun from the back, is just, in my opinion, not very viable for the everyday average player. With that being said, we get into the talk about our other skills that we got. We got this skill right here, the iframe. When we move back, we'll see that we are now locked into it into SA. They changed it so we're no longer locked into it. We can either iframe out of it, like Sidewinder, we can run and gun out of it, we can Gunslinger's Entrance out of it, and we can also Max Payne out of it. So in this example, I am going to Sidewinder out of it. Iframe, Sidewinder, so it's really, really nice to chain that together. So now we've talked about all the DeadEye changes, and let's talk about what all of this means. So, okay, we lost our knockbacks, cool. We lost our knockback on Gunslinger's Entrance, and we also lost the KD on the end of it. I stated earlier that I believe that the KD should be on the end of it. The reason why I say that is because the way that the kit is now, we only have a couple different options to stun people. We have Max Payne to stun, and we have Mayhem to stun. Both of those, for the most part, you have to be up close. Max Payne you don't, because you can go backwards, but if you want to get that CC up close, remember, you have to whip your camera for it, and that's super unnecessary that you have to do that. Same thing with Mayhem. If you want to get the CC in the back, you have to whip your camera for it. I think that that is BS, just for the fact that this is an AoE skill and all of the attacks are hitting him in the back regardless. Now let's take into account, like, let's say for example you have Sork. If I wanted to get behind someone really quickly, I would use my dash skill. I would turn my camera, either Midnight Stinger them in the back, or another skill where I hit them in the back. Gunslinger's Entrance used to be the same way. A lot of the times, I knew for a fact that I wasn't going to get any knockbacks because a lot of people are protected from the front with frontal guards or super armor. So what I would do is I would go past them with it, I would whip my camera, and then I would get the KD in the back. I think that this skill should still have the KD in the back because it takes skill to have to go and whip your camera. And a lot of kits and a lot of classes have a skill where they can run behind someone really quickly and get behind their back and do something. Deadeye doesn't really have that option. The only way that we can really try to get behind someone for the most part is going to be with like double running gun. So I could try to double running gun like this. And then if I'm behind them, right, if I'm either going to use Max Payne or Mayhem, I have to make sure that my reticle is faced to them in the back. I don't think that that is fair. Another thing that I want to say is when it comes to all of our CCs, we have Max Payne, we have Mayhem, we have a slide shotgun. So if we slide into our shotgun, you'll notice that it is super armor. On this it's iframe, and then it's super armor for the first initial part of the shot, and then it's unprotected. In my opinion, it's unprotected to the point where it's completely unusable in 90% of most situations in PvP, because as you'll see in these duels, I'll try to use it, but I just get caught out of it way too often. I think that we need to have some sort of protected KD. The only other KD that we have is going to be our Rabomb, which is going to be Final Draw, which is a ranged KD. This is a gunner class. It's a ranged class. We have a gun. Why do we only have one ranged CC? We do have these rockets that CC from ranged, But again, these are KD, but keep in mind, you have to charge it. The max range is about this far away, and most classes can bridge this gap by the time you actually sit down in position, charge it, and get the shot off. It was such an issue to where it got to the point where I got into the habit of never using any of my rocket skills whenever I backed up, unless I knew for a fact that I was going to be safe from it. So those two rocket skills are not skills that we can get off consistently in battle, and it just sucks. So now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and me and Neon, we're gonna duel for a little bit, and I'll kind of show you how the class feels now, and I'll kind of talk about it while we're dueling. All right, let's get it, Neon. I'm ready. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get him close, and as he gets close, I'm going to try to go in with my Mayhem skill. I'm also going to try to use my Max Pain whenever he also gets close as well. Like here, I use my Max Pain. You see he was immune to that. Here goes Mayhem, both hits. And you see how fast he's moving and how fast my camera's moving around. The fact that the second hit of Mayhem, I have to whip my camera around for the reticle to be on him to try to get the CC, is just ridiculous that has to happen. I also have way more gear than Neon, so I am going to be doing a lot more damage than he is to me on these trades for the most part. But as you'll see here, I don't really have any good options of trying to... Right there, I tried to go for the KD that I talked about, our shotgun, and the one time I tried to use it in that entire fight, that was like a minute long, I get caught in it. So that's what I'm saying. That was a perfect example of how that skill no longer is really like... We've always had it, but it should either be protected now, or Gunslinger's entrance, the shotgun at the end should have KD again. And since that skill's super armor, I think that would be cool. I'm ready. Let's keep going. This time, I'm really going to focus on the fight, and I'm going to just lock in, and I'm not going to really talk. And I'm going to try my best to get a stun on Neon, and you're going to see how hard it is for me to do so. Whoops. That was my fault there. Oh, we both fucked up though. So I tried to go into my shotgun skill there, but I didn't have my Sidewinder up to get out of it, because you have to use Sidewinder to use the shotgun skill. So the only way to get out of it is if you have Max Pain up. So I didn't have Max Pain up there, so I wasn't able to get out of that shotgun skill, and that almost cost me the fight. There we go. Got a stun. And there we go. We finally got a stun. I was able to whip my camera around, and it CC'd him in the back. I'm not going to lie. I did not purposely whip my camera there. He just so happened to just be where I was as I was using the skill, because I normally always am used to turning my camera around as I do skills on Deadeye. It's just one of those classes where you're going to have to whip a lot. He has way less gear than me. by the way, YouTube. Like, probably like 30, 40 gear score less. And probably like 30 gear score difference. And you can see that he's actually able to do a lot of damage to me, because I don't really have any consistent ways to CC him. And hold on really quickly. I'm going to go ahead and take off. What's your AP Neon right now?
332.
All right, I'm going to take off one ring, so I'm going to match you. I'm 330, so it's kind of more even. Ready? So, and the reason why I wanted to show you guys with me having more gear than him is because this shouldn't have to be a class where I just kill them standing because I just have more gear than them. Because as you can see now, we're gear matched. I'm at a severe disadvantage because I don't have any consistent ways to like really CC him at all. I mean, yeah, I can still do like decent damage, but and like, I'm not gonna lie, you guys might be like, well, Slushy, Neon's not CCing you either. Well, you also have to keep into account that every single skill that I'm using for the most part is protected with super armor. There's only 2 skills that I'm using, which is this one and this one against Neon, that is frontal guard. So he doesn't really have that many options to like CC me because of how protected I am. But when it comes to classes like grabs, and as you'll see in a little bit, we'll have Neon get on his ninja. It's a lot different because whenever someone can grab you, especially on this class, because this class isn't permanently iframe. There's windows. You have to wait for your shit to be up, and then you're sitting in super armor. So a lot of times, people have gotten good enough, and I'm just not some like shitty Deadeye with like no experience that's trying to like talk about the class. I have experience. I finished top 20 in AOS and for Deadeye, and I have a lot of reps on the class. I have almost 700 games played on Deadeye, so I know what I'm talking about when it comes to the class. And when it comes to the point of getting chased down, there's specific classes that will 100% get the guaranteed grip on you anytime they focus you, because they know exactly when your iframes are up and then you're sitting in super armor. Nova, Tamer, Warrior, Striker, Mystic, Kuno, trying to think if I missed any. All of those classes, you have to either be insanely good at the class and like use all your environment around you and jump on top of buildings and kite like crazy and hope to God that whenever you were getting chased, you got a knockback with your running gun to get the person off of you. Now on this class, you don't have that option. Like whenever someone's chasing you down, you don't have that option to like try to like range them down and try to get like a range CC, because the class doesn't have any that is protected anymore, and it's just really tough. So Neon, go ahead and hop on your ninja, and then I'll kind of like show the difference.
I swapped over the damage. I want to see what the difference is.
All right, so he swapped over the damage chat. We're gonna see what the difference is with him having damage. Go ahead. All right, well, I tried to use Max Pain there and I couldn't get it off because I don't even know what happened. Let's do that again. Oh, I need to stop doing that. Oh my God, that's an insane amount of damage. Holy moly. There's nothing I can do. Are we the same? Or do you have 330 still?
Yeah, this is just crystals.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna actually like lock in as hard as I can. Okay, I was able to get the CC with the Sidewinder into the unprotected shotgun, and then I went ahead and got out of the unprotected shotgun with max pain. So you got to make sure that if you're going for the unprotected shotgun, you're going to get out of it with max pain. So it needs to be up. Oh, I got it. Oh, also, if someone from Pearl Abyss is watching this video, the same way that we can tell if someone's in super armor or frontal guard with a symbol beside them, can you please make it so if they're stunned or knocked down or something like that, there's a symbol by their head so we know? Especially like in Node War or Siege or AOS when there's so many AoEs and you can't see shit. Like, that would just be awesome. I CC'd him with max pain there. So, like, I mean, playing how I'm playing now is going to be how you're going to have to play the kit. You're just going to have to hope that, one, you don't get gear checked, and two, you're just playing ranged like this. You're just running and hoping that you either get a CC with max pain while you're staying at a ranged, and if they come in close, you go in with mayhem. But besides that, I think the play is just staying at range like this, with how the kit is right now. Let's do one more, Neon. Oh, he's switching to Ninja. Yeah, chat, we're gonna segue into the next part where he is on his Ninja. Neon is now on his Ninja, so we're going to take a look at what it's like to fight a Ninja in a class that has a grab. So let's get to it. See, I tried to turn my camera to hit you with the last hit of the stun, and it kept me locked there, and I ended up just getting grabbed because of it. So it's one of the things with this mayhem skill. If you want to try to get the last hit of it, you're going to just know that you're going to be locked in, because you have to whip your camera and hopefully get the hit. So in my opinion, it's just, I don't know, it depends on how you want to play, but I think maybe just going for the most hit most of the times. For the first hit most of the times, if they have a grab, might be the play. There we go. Got the hit with mayhem there. Got a tricky one. We were able to do the, I don't know what I CC'd him with there, actually. I think I CC'd, oh, I went to iframe and I think I shotgunned, and then I did mayhem and I CC'd him with mayhem. So it's weird because, like, I feel like with this version of Deadeye, you get CCs when you're not trying to get them because of just how mayhem works. Or, I'm sorry, because of how max pain works. It's just a skill that you're always using for movement for the most part, at least for me. Especially the iframe, it's really, really good. I really liked when they had initially made that change the last time they updated Deadeye. So we got him with the max pain there. Okay, I need to work on some combos here because I'm not used to getting that max pain. I think the combo is going to be I think the combo is going to be max pain, forward guard. So it's going to be like this. Yeah. So it's going to be max pain. Then it's going to be SLMB, which is skills SLMB. Oh, old switcheroo into quick draw. So old switcheroo into quick draw. So it's going to be max pain, old switcheroo, quick draw. Then from there, you're going to go into final draw, which is going to be your bomb. And then you could probably just like finish it off with whatever you want because they're knocked down. So do something like this if you wanted to. Whoops, hold on, I wasn't ready for that. Okay. So you could do something like this. Or you could get that knockdown and then go immediately into Shift E, which is a really hard hitting skill. It's completely up to you. I'm ready. Oh, nice. I tried to use max pain twice in a row. It was on cooldown. It's weird because these new CCs that we have, it's like I'm thinking of using the kit in a certain way and it's meant to be used a different way now. So it's like messing with my brain. Oh, I got caught in iframe there. Unfortunate. Nice. I didn't have anything off cooldown because I used all my movement skills to try to CC you. So that's another thing that you have to recognize, YouTube. Like Max Pain and Mayhem are a lot of our movement skills. Mayhem is the one skill that we use, is one of the few skills that we have actually that can take us out of our Q block. There's only 2 skills that can take us out of our Q block. Running gun. And you don't even get taken out of it, like protected. You do that little shot that's unprotected and then you run. But the only way to get out of Q block protected is Mayhem. That's the only skill in your entire kit that will take you out of Q block protected. So if you try to like use Max Pain to CC someone, right? And you try to use Mayhem to CC someone, right? And you don't have anything else, and you block to try to block something of theirs, just know that you've now locked yourself into Q block and you won't be able to get out. So that's another thing that I just now I'm figuring out on the class, like as I'm playing it. I'm ready. Oh, I hit him with the... Okay, so Max Pain, if you hold it in, for those of you who don't know, takes you back even further. I don't think a lot of people know about that. But with... What the fuck? With that being said, if you get the stun with Max Pain and you continue to hold it and you keep going back, you will be out of range for any KDs that you have. So if I CC him with this right here, and I keep going back like this, and then I try to get the KD, he's too far away. So if you get the... So here's another thing. Let's say that someone's like pressuring you really hard, and you need to use the long version of Max Payne to get out of like range, there's no skill that you have besides like your rocket that you can get off to get that CC, and your rocket's unprotected. And I still don't even know if the stun is long enough. Here, try to get, I'm gonna try to just try to get out of this stun and just try to move out of this. Yeah, there's not even enough time to even like get my rocket and like shoot him. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're not purposely going for the stun and releasing Max Payne and you hold it and you get that stun, there's no follow-up because you don't have some long-range KD, and the stun doesn't last long enough for you to even do it. I'm going to try it one more time with the other rocket, so try to get out of that CC. Yeah, there's no time. So it's another L for the changes, but I'm ready. See, I think that skill right there should still KD, Gunslinger's Entrance. I think the shotgun on the end of it should KD. And I think if they just gave that to the class, then I think... Oh, I thought I stunned you there. I thought I stunned you by the way that like your body moved whenever I hit you. That's another thing. Please, Pearl Abyss, if you're watching this, let us know if, like, let there be a symbol beside someone's head if they're stunned or stiffed or anything like that. Just having to read it off of like the body language is just not cool. So I think YouTube, I think you're gonna just have to take advantage of your Sidewinder shotgun into Max Payne. I think you're gonna have to just bite the bullet and hope that you don't get CC'd out of it and use it as safely as you possibly can. See, I didn't even know that he was stunned there. That's such bullshit. Excuse my language. I don't know why it locked me into that long animation. Oh, I know why. I held RB, or I held right on the mouse button, but I didn't mean to. Yeah, I tried to go for the KD with the shotgun there because nothing else was landing. And that's just, I think, for the most part, what the class is going to come down to. You hoping to God that you land one of your new stuns, or you go for the unprotected KD and pray that you don't get stunned through it. I don't understand how you, and that's another thing too. After Mayhem, a lot of times I won't be able to do anything. Like, I'll come out of Mayhem and then I'll try to use another skill, but I get CC'd out of it. Like, I don't know if there's a gap at the end of it, but it's really weird. See, that's the only way I can get my rocket off is if I go real far back like that, but most of the people are going to either run at you with super armor or run at you with frontal guard just like Neon did, and you can't do anything. So it's not worth going unprotected for those couple seconds to potentially get a KD with a rocket. That's why earlier I was saying that like the rockets are kind of just like meaningless.
For me. Dance.
All right, YouTube. I think that'll be the last duel. That was the best duel that I could have possibly fought. I tried to get like literally play at least one duel with me doing everything perfectly correct, and that was basically everything, every movement, every step that I made. It led me to get a stun. I'm not gonna lie, I did not purposely go for that stun that I just got on Neon. It just so happened to hit. I don't like that about these new changes of Deadeye. I don't like how the stuns that you have are pretty much just RNG. You just play until one of them finally lands. I don't like the way that the only KD option we have is unprotected. I think that either that needs to become fully protected or they need to give us KD back on the end of Gunslinger's entrance, especially because there's so many classes that have the ability to outplay and get behind you and KD you. And also a lot of classes have a protected super armor KD. Another thing that I wanted to talk a little bit about and just restate is the Max Payne. I think that Max Payne needs a lot of work. I don't think that you should have to have your reticle on them whenever you're in the tracking rounds to make Max Payne hit. And I don't think that whenever you dash to the left or right of someone, especially when your reticle starts on them, that your bullet doesn't hit them for Max Payne. I think that change needs to happen. I think the class right now feels like the fundamentals of a class that could be really, really, really good. I think what they did is they took this class from a 10 and they brought it down to like a 5 when they should have brought the class down to like a 7. And in PvE, it's still really, really good. It's probably the best still. She's really good in PvE. But as far as PvP, I just genuinely don't think that it's fair that Pearl Abyss brings out these really incredible classes, makes them so super strong, sucks the money out of all of their players, and then dumps the class and shits on it and makes it really bad. And then everyone goes back to whatever they were playing before until the next new class comes out. The reason why I started playing Deadeye is I started playing Deadeye when it first came out, and I was just so enamored with the fact that there was a dual-wield pistol class. I've always wanted a dual-wield pistol class, and it just so happened once people figured it out to be like one of the top classes and dominate in the game. I don't think right now with the state of AOS, if AOS were to re-happen right now, that we'd see nearly as many Deadeyes in the top 100. I think there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So out of 100 people, 1/10 of them, or 10%, is Deadeye. I think that would probably go to like maybe like 1 or 2 Deadeyes, if that would even be in top 100 with these changes. all these classes that are up here are so insanely good because of the kit that they have and what makes them so strong. We look here, we look at Striker, so much super armor. You have a really strong grab. You have 30 seconds of super armor. Deadeye, it had the crazy knockbacks. Ninja's not really that crazy, but Armin is, he's just Armin. Awakening Nova, you're the fastest class that's ever been, and you have a grab, and you have just insane damage, insane movement, knockbacks. Excel, Zerker, you have multiple different grabs. Tamer, you have a grab, you have super fucking crazy movement. And like, also another thing that I have to say, and I just have to state this, is a lot of people were complaining about Deadeye because it was really strong, and the main issue was that it was taking people out of SA because of the knockbacks or whatever. I think that Pearl Abyss should figure out how to fix the knockback issue and make it so the knockbacks don't take people out of SA, and either give that back to us, or either give us KD on the end of Gunslinger's entrance, or I'm just going to say it, give us a grab. Because everyone was shitting on Deadeye because it's the #1 class right now and it was OP in its meta. But like, Striker's consistently been at the top of the leaderboards for almost every single AOS season. Look how many Strikers are just here in the top 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 in the top 20. What about Zerker? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the top 20. And then you have multiple 1, 2, 3. You have 3 Novas in the top 20, or in the top 10. And it's like, everyone wants to like shit on Deadeye, and I understand the knockbacks were strong, but they were strong because they took you out of super armor. And I believe the reason for that is because of the tracking rounds and how they track. I think that if you're going to have a gunner class, give us ranged KD, or give us some sort of ranged way to like knock down people, or like do something. Like, look at Archer, like you have a ranged KD, like you have all this and it's protected. It's just, this class has gone from having an identity to not knowing what it is anymore. And it's just sad because the class can be so good, and it only got shit on so hard just because it was the new class. And it's not fair, especially like for someone like me that plays the class. I bought max weight, max inventory slots. Like, I spent a couple $100s on this new class to enjoy it, and they completely just make it not even like really able to compete anymore. And it's just sad. It shouldn't be like a node war class where it's like, okay, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna hopefully, get some stuns long range with my rockets, and hopefully, do damage with my rockets. Like, now I'm limited to just like doing that. It's just, I want to be able to get in a 1v1 and make a difference and fight someone. I want to be able to move around and be able to like actually cause mayhem. I want to be like a Zerker that can run around and grab you at any second. I want to be a Striker that I'm fearful. I'm running from them for 30 seconds because they have a grab and can grab me at any time. I want to be a Nova that is so fucking fast, and at any second they're either going to CC you from any angle, or they're going to grab you. Same thing with Tamer. Infinite iframes. The longest range grab that has ever been. You can grab from New York to Uzbekistan. And Deadeye, the only thing that was strong about it was the fact that the knockback took you out of SA, which is something that I think Pearl Abyss just needs to you need to fix whatever it is that makes that happen. Just fix it. Or if it is because there's too many knockback hits, just give us half the amount of knockbacks. Or at least give us knockback on the first hit of run and gun. Or maybe on the last hit of run and gun. Don't make it infinite knockbacks, right? if you give us a knockback on the last hit of run and gun, at least we can't, like, if we do get that knockback through, let's say, a super armor or something on that last hit, at least we can't follow them up with another 20 knockbacks and they can't V or can't do anything. Like, the game just went from 100, like from like 50 to 100, and it's just sad. But that's about everything I have to say for the class, and I've played it. I'm gonna let Neon say a little bit about what he thinks about the class, being someone that doesn't play the class but has fought it a couple times and has watched me, and then from there we're probably just gonna leave it off. Go ahead, Neon.
Oh shit, I'm muted. I don't know. As I was talking to him about it, I think the changes are fine. I think the main thing is that they like took away all the range CCs, which is kind of weird. Considering it's, you know, like a gunner class. And then also I don't think they needed to take away that shotgun shot at the end of the one where they dash forward and then the shotgun shot at the end. I think that they could have left that in there. But as far as like what they changed, like the adding the stuns to the iframe CC and then adding the stun to the one where you spin around and shoot, I think those are fine. Because the class has it doesn't have a ton of range pressure after especially like fighting him on Mamusa. I noticed that like he was pressuring me, but he wasn't pressuring me like enough. Like if I was fighting like a ranger or like an archer, I would have died, you know, fucking 12 years ago. But like fighting his Deadeye, like I wasn't really taking that much range pressure, because I guess like their range pressure is more like run and gun, and like a lot of the rocket skills, like their hardest hitting moves, and I mean that is unprotected. So I don't know. I think it's like this weird middle ground where they either need to up the damage of the class and make it like a blader, if they're gonna make it to where like the CCs are like on like these kind of tactical skills, like, oh, we're gonna put a CC on the iframe and like stuff like that, then like that's kind of more blader style, where it's like high damage and like, okay, like, well, you have CCs to like kind of trick people. And that's how like Suck Moose is and all in those classes. But if you're gonna try to make it like a decent 1v1 class, then yeah, the CCs need to like change. Like a few of them need to like shift over. Like I'm not saying like add a CC and like that's it. Like you can add a CC and remove another one. But I do think that like that shotgun skill CC needs to come back so that they have the option to go behind frontal guards. Because I mean, like that's just a huge part of a kit. I mean, like if I could just imagine, like if I was playing Deadeye right now, I mean, there's no way to CC like a good player. Like the only times he CC'd me was when I messed up, and that's just because I'm like new to Ninja. But like if I've been playing Ninja for like a few months, he would never catch me, and I don't think that's like fair for any class in the game. So either swap over some CCs to where like they have more 1v1 potential, or up the damage. Those are like the only two options. Or give more range CCs and take away the close range CCs, so that it's more of like a archer or ranger type playstyle. But since I figure they're like trying to be unique with Deadeye, I think they just need to move a few of the CCs over. And like I said, maybe the shotgun CC, maybe throw in a new skill to where like, I don't know, they have a lasso, do something cool with the lasso, I don't know. But it just depends on where they want this class to stand. Do they want it to stand in a no war, you know, large scale standpoint, or do they want it to stand strong in a small scale standpoint? And then once they figure that out, they can move forward. But yeah, that's all I have to say about it.
All right, YouTube. Well, you heard it here first from your boy Slushy and your boy Neon. Neon, thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to use you as the test dummy for today's video. YouTube, let me know what you guys think about Deadeye in the comments down below. Do you think that the nerfs were too hard on it? Are you guys happy about the nerfs? Sad about the nerfs? Do you think there needs to be changes made? What do you think needs to happen? Thank you guys so much for watching this YouTube video. I know it's been a long one, but I hope that this deep dive was really going to be that technical analysis that shows people how the class is now and kind of where it needs to go. Other than that, that's all I got for you guys. Until next time, it's been your boy Slushy. Later.